starts with two. A simple step, a shared journey, and as others walk beside us, we grow in strength, in hope, in community, side by side, in community.
Greetings, friends, and welcome back to Side by Side in Community. I'm Pastor TJ McCabe, and it is another beautiful day here at Countryside Community Church. This week, I want to invite us to look around. And not just to look around at who's with us, but at who's missing from within our circles. We're continuing to reflect on how we build community. And this week's question is one that a lawyer once asked Jesus in Luke chapter 10. Who is my neighbor? Now, Jesus doesn't give a direct answer, but instead he tells a story. A man is beaten and he's left for dead on the side of the road, and a priest then passes by. And then a Levite passes by, and finally, a Samaritan, someone that's considered an outsider, stops, shows compassion, and tends to this man's wounds. He shows him the love that Jesus preaches about. Now, Jesus ends the story by flipping the question back to the lawyer. Which of these three was a neighbor to the man? The lawyer answers, the one who showed him mercy. And Jesus responds, go and do likewise. It's such a simple phrase, go and do likewise. But living this commandment out is where that challenge begins to become hard. We often expect that our neighbors are the people who are directly next to us, who are next door, the ones who think and act and maybe even look like we do. But Jesus makes it so very clear. Your neighbor is anyone who is in need, especially those that others might overlook. In the movie A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Tom Hanks plays the beloved Fred Rogers. Yes, that iconic Mr. Rogers. But the story isn't really about Fred Rogers, but instead it follows the real-life story of a cynical journalist who was assigned to write a profile piece on Fred Rogers. Now, the journalist expects to find this polished act, this fake persona. But what he soon discovers is that someone who truly listens, someone who chooses to slow down enough to see pain and to respond with kindness. Someone who offers mercy where others might offer judgment. Mr. Rogers lived out what Jesus taught in that story. He didn't just say, let's be kind, but he taught and he lived out what it meant to love your neighbor deeply, practically, and intentionally. He treated strangers with the same compassion that he offered his friends. He made space for difficult feelings. He made room for healing, and he reminded us that no one stands alone. And so this week, I invite us to ask the question, who is my neighbor? But to also ask, where is God asking me to show mercy to those that I've not considered my neighbor in the past? Maybe it's someone that you've avoided most of your life. Maybe it's someone who frustrates you. Maybe it's just someone that you've never really taken the time to see or get to know. Wherever it is that you go this week, whether it's at work or on the playground or at the grocery store or online, look for a moment to go and do likewise, to show compassion, to show the love that Jesus taught. Because in God's kingdom, love always chooses to cross the road. I'll see you next week. Let's keep walking side by side in community with Christ.